Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my girlfriend, Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
We've had a good week here at Massive Late Fee. It is January 7th, 1995.
Really want to work on that demo, don't you?
Aren't you excited about 1995?
No more or less than I was for 1994.
Really?
Yeah.
It's 1990. It's so like, it's got a, I don't know, like there's something about it.
2000 I'll be excited for.
Well, 2000 will be interesting. But this is like we're right in the middle. Right in the middle of the wild and free 90s.
Well, we were right in the middle of the 80s, and that wasn't that super exciting either. So.
Oh, disagree.
Okay.
1985, good year. But a new year is bringing new television networks around. What do you think of that?
I think I want to hear more.
I don't know if you guys are aware of the existence, but there's two new networks out here. There is, it's called WB Television Network. That's Warner Brothers. The Warner Brothers. And United Paramount Network. I guess UPN?
Sure.
Sounds
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, because NBC is the National Broadcasting Corporation,
Okay.
So I would think United Paramount Network, UPN. That makes sense to me. Anyway, so the UPN apparently has some early favorites. Now, they're going to have a new Star Trek show, Star Trek Voyager.
Okay.
It's called. And that's probably going to be a hit because the Star Trek franchise is big. And someone named Kate Mulgrew is going to star in it. She's going to be the first female captain of a
Well, that's
starship.
kind of exciting.
Yeah. So
My mom's going to be like all excited because she loves Star Trek.
apparently, WB Television Network, I guess just WB, I don't know. Anyway, so they are doing some comedy shows. They have the Wayans brothers, Sean and Marlon Wayans. I guess they're related to Keenan Ivory Wayans,
Okay.
who from that did In Living Color, and they're getting their own show, something called The Parenthood, starring Robert Townsend. It's I guess a Cosby-esque type family sitcom. Something called Unhappily Ever After.
That sounds like Married with Children.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. It says irreverent family sitcom about a divorced couple from the creator of Married with Children. So that makes a lot of sense. And then Muscle. It looks like it's a satire set in a New York health spa from the makers of Soap. Interesting. So I wonder if that's Susan Harris. She created Soap and The Golden Girls.
Oh, okay.
And I think she did she do Mary Hartman, or Tennessee Valley? I don't remember. But I think she did Mary Hartman too. But Soap is, I love Soap. I think I've talked about that before.
Yes.
My love of the television show Soap.
I mean, you've definitely told me. I'm assuming you've also told our listeners.
I'm
just going to take all these tapes and cut out all the bits of you singing and make it a demo tape and send it in for you.
Last time on Soap is hilarious. Brilliant show. Anyway, apparently the CBS is, and I don't know if if CBS is desperate, would you say?
What?
But apparently they're bringing a bunch of veteran comedians back to the screen, including Terry Garr, who was in the movie that we saw, by the way, as well as Miss Sugarbaker herself. You know who I'm talking about.
Not so much, no.
Delta Burke.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so they've got new shows with them.
Cool.
As well. Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm looking through different... I cut out different sections of the paper so that I could read them to you people, and things that I think would be interesting for Carol to hear. And I was trying to figure out on this page what I was looking at, but now I remember. So, this is from the newspaper. This is not movie related or anything like that. But I thought this was super interesting. So Bob Kiff, from the Hartford Courier, he's got a little section here in the Detroit Free Press, and he says the title is "Arguably the Language Took a Beating in 1994," and these are things like words and trends in words and stuff like that from 1994 that he thinks, it's going to be bad. It's bad omens for the language. So, the events of this year certainly brewed up quite a concoction. 12 gallons of white water, a dash of OJ, a lump of gump, and a pinch of Tanya, and an eye of Newt. An I, as in the capital letter I, like me. Which is, I guess that kind of shows his politics a little bit there, but that's funny. So for those of you that aren't quite following along, Whitewater obviously is the scandal involving Bill Clinton. O.J. Simpson possibly killed 2 people. Forrest Gump is what he's talking about there. Tanya Harding. And then I of Newt, referring to Newt Gingrich and the Republican sweep in the midterm elections.
You know what the fastest way to kill a joke is?
What?
To explain it.
It's not really a joke, though. I'm just explaining to the people what... Okay. Wow. It's going to be one of those shows, huh? Anyway, so what he's saying is, he's like, okay, so the most overused word. With President Clinton's health care plan thwarted in Congress, gridlock nearly made a George Foreman-like comeback to claim the title. But this year's linguistic bald tire was arguably the most worn out word in journalism. Cliches of the year. At first, this race seemed tilted towards slippery slope, level playing field, and downward spiral. Then peace process, core values, and modalities transitioned into the lead. But down the home stretch, we discovered the winner, comfort level. Yeah, that's quite a cliche.
Interesting.
7 deadly synonyms. Journalists were a sight for thesaurize in November as they scrambled for words to describe the Republican sweep at the polls. Tidal wave, stampede, juggernaut, avalanche, landslide, and cave-in swamped us. Most promiscuous prepositions.
Okay.
No one spoke about an issue in 1994. People spoke to an issue. I noticed that too. People would say that a lot.
I'm going to speak to that. Okay.
Yeah. But don't worry about. It's it's around and about in sentences like, we're not about raising taxes, we're about helping people. Hillary Dickory Dock Award. Where would we have been in 1994 without our safety net of universal coverage, healthcare providers, and managed competition with automatic triggers? That's like basically just making fun of Hillary Clinton's description of the healthcare plan that they wanted to. By the way, all you people are fucking stupid.
Yep. But what?
There's no reason we can't just have healthcare as a right for everybody. I mean, I certainly don't think, and it's going to happen. You watch. I don't think 20 years down the road, we're still going to be arguing about should we have universal coverage.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's absolutely happening.
God. I mean, it's dead for now, but, we'll see.
Maybe it will be resurrected.
Maybe if the fucking insurance companies didn't spend so much money on politicians. Most persistent trend. Nouns continue to verb like rabbits. Former nouns still wet behind the ears include I'll message you. Because, message is a noun, and now people are using it as a verb. I'll message you. Let's see. No one wants to be term limited. And let's calendar that.
That is so dumb.
Worst linguistic trend. Uptalk. This is the tendency of young people to raise their voices tentatively at the end of sentences. Each sentence sounds like a question. You've undoubtedly noticed this?
Yes.
That's what they're talking about there. Yeah, so that I thought was interesting. What's your, as far as like the language goes, what do you think? Have you noticed anything that you're like, oh my God, that sucks?
I mean, people do totally overuse the word like.
Yes,
and
they
depending
do.
on who you're talking to, that can get really like old, like really like quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
Like for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all for me though. I mean, I'm not as judgmental as some people, so.
Ho, 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 ho!
Although I will judge on one thing.
What?
What sound do two E's together make?
E?
So, wouldn't it be the free press, not the free press? You freak. I mean, you act like you don't know how to talk.
All right, I walked into that one, I guess. That was an expertly laid trap. Put some leaves over that. Wow, nice.
I was waiting on it.
Last thing I want to talk about before we move into everything else that we're going to talk about is that Conan OBrien and his show, The Late Show, the one that he took over for David Letterman, is no longer going to appear on our Channel 4, WDIV. They're taking it off for Jenny Jones. Reruns of Jenny Jones or whatever at, it's a late night show, so I believe it starts at 12:30, I want to say, or 1 a.m., something like that.
Now, let me ask, though, is the show being canceled?
No. So the way it works is NBC owns the show. They produce the show. The show gets filmed. Then the show gets distributed. And each city, not necessarily each city, but each region has its own affiliates. They're called affiliates. So they're independently owned and operated, TV channels, TV stations that have contracts. So, for instance, WDIV has a contract with NBC. Okay. But they don't need to show everything that's on NBC. They don't need to show everything that's on NBC. They can pick and choose basically what they want to show.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it works.
Okay. So it's just not available to us anymore.
Correct.
For some reason, they decided that we would prefer to watch reruns of Jenny Jones.
Yeah, apparently they say that the after the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, that they take a big hit as far as ratings go, and basically no one wants to watch it.
But I mean, who's really watching TV that time of night anyway?
I don't know. Drug addicts.
And do you think drug addicts want to watch Jenny Jones?
Actually, kind of, yeah. That would be her demographic, I think.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's the deal with that. So you're not going to be able to watch Conan O'Brien anymore, which sucks because I kind of like Conan O'Brien. I think he's funny.
Take him or leave him.
Wow. How dare you? How dare you?
I dare. I really do.
Anyway, that's the news for the week. We don't have any massive love this week. I actually couldn't find it in the paper.
What?
So, yeah, I couldn't find it. So...
Oh, God, they can't take it away.
So we'll see next week if they have it there. But anyway, as always, we watched My So-Called Life.
Yes, we did. This was a heavy episode.
Yeah, tell us about it, Carol.
Okay, so this was called Resolutions because it was a New Year's episode.
Okay.
And it starts out with everybody saying what their resolutions are. And it was interesting to me. The parents' resolutions were very like in depth, you know. Like the dad's resolution was to tell Hallie that he's not going to do this restaurant with her,
Right.
and to stop having all those late night conversations with her after class.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, like, prior to this episode, did you suspect something there?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right away. See, here's the thing is, once you establish that character as, you know, at least almost having an affair, or kissing, he kissed her.
Yeah.
They kissed. So, I mean, basically kind of cheating. Not really an affair, but also cheating. Well, once you establish this character like that, anytime I see him with a woman, my mind goes there.
Really? Okay.
For sure.
And then the mom was really down on herself in her
was.
resolutions and talking about how she's going to, you know, stop being so judgmental and try to be like more, it sounds like she just wants to be more like free and fun loving. And, you know, it just seemed like she has a really bad impression of herself and how people view her, which is probably accurate.
I was going to say she's right. That's the thing.
So, and through the whole episode, that's what she's trying to do. And you can see her struggle with it.
Everybody is struggling with everyone we see anyway is struggling with their resolutions, which I think is interesting.
Yeah. And Angela doesn't really make one. She says she's going to try to be less introspective, but then talks herself out of it immediately.
But then says she's going to not stop doing Jordan Catalano's homework.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. Which she thinks she succeeded in.
Right.
And then Ricky's, it was so sad, was to find a place to live.
Yeah.
And Rayanne's was to stop drinking for real.
Yep.
So we're watching all of them except for Rayanne. Rayanne's, again, not a big part.
No, we don't see Rayanne struggle with... Yeah, it's like... It's weird. They have so many interesting characters. I think it's very difficult to include everyone in an episode.
Yeah. Well, and Sharon. Sharon was in this episode. Sharon's resolution was to...
Stop fucking that guy.
Yeah.
Kyle,
yes. Yeah, she, it starts off with her in bed with Kyle. And
I think they're on the
being
couch.
unhappy about it. Yeah, in the basement, I think.
Yeah.
But it looked like a pullout. Because they were like naked under a blanket.
Well, we didn't see the sex. I'm not sure if he pulled up.
Goodness. Don't be gross.
I mean, does it look like something sticky was like, you know, that why it looks like a pullout?
Okay, just stop.
Oh my.
So, yeah, through the episode, we're watching all the characters dealing with their resolutions.
Correct.
And Angela is immediately doing Jordan's homework.
Yes.
They're hanging out in his car, and he says to her, "This is wrong. I can't let you keep doing my homework. It would be different if we were still a couple, but we're not. We're just friends."
Yep.
And then he takes the homework away from her.
Yep.
And she's like, "I can't believe it. I finally stuck to a resolution."
Right. Like that was up to her.
Right. So then she signs him up for tutoring because she's worried about him since she's not helping him with his homework. Or doing his homework for him, actually.
Yeah.
Which
is not helping him.
Right.
That's, I mean, like when people, sorry to interrupt.
No.
But when people are illiterate and they actually they get through school and stuff like that, that's the reason that happens, is because people think they're helping them out. They think they're being kind. But really what they're doing is they're enabling them to not, like, actually work to their potential.
Yeah, it's like the, fishing parable. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, she signs him up for tutoring, and he gets assigned to Bryan Krakow.
Yeah, Brain.
Yeah, he calls him Brain.
Brain Krakow. Brain Crackhead.
So, yeah. It's so funny. He is learning a little bit. Because he was able to look at it and say Brain Krakow or whatever.
Yeah, like it's weird that he didn't get Bryan, but he knew
Krakow. Right. And
I don't know.
And whose name is Brain?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny too because at the very beginning, they're all watching the ball drop. They're watching Dick Clark do the ball drop, which is funny because this is on ABC and Dick Clark works for ABC.
Oh, okay.
But, well, not funny. I just, let's keep it in house. But anyway, so they're watching the ball drop, and then we see Jordan in his car, and he's like, "Hey, wait. Isn't today like New Year's Eve or something?"
Yeah.
So, like, he's such a moron.
Yeah. I mean, is that really an intelligence issue, though?
I get, but he's out there. Like, he's not thinking. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he's just not thinking about what's going on around him, and that makes him, spacey and flighty. Sorry, everybody. I'm just fixing something real quick. Okay, there. I think I talked it through. Okay. I'll explain to you why I did that and what's going on with that when we're not on the air.
Okay. So
that is much better, though.
Okay. So Jordan is kind of a moron, and Krakow is going to tutor him, which Angela signs him up. Like, doesn't ask, doesn't tell him ahead of time, just puts his name on a list.
Yep.
She really acts like his girlfriend, and he really lets her.
Yeah, they have a very weird relationship.
Like, in my opinion, they seem closer now than when they were dating.
Absolutely, because when they were dating, it was like, let's go down to the basement and make out, and we never actually go on dates, and we never really talk about anything, and now they're talking all the time.
Yeah.
They are developing their relationship, though, the relationship of the two characters, which is cool. I like that. So I feel like they're probably going to get back together at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of hope so, but at the same time, I'm still kind of disappointed with him as a person, so we'll see. Because
of pressuring her into sex?
Yeah.
Trying to?
Yeah.
He does it in a funny way this episode
as
well.
It was really funny.
Well, let's focus on one story at a time, I guess, because that'll make it easier.
Okay.
Let's talk about Bryan and Jordan.
Yeah, so Bryan wants to get out of tutoring Jordan because he doesn't think he can do it because he's jealous about Angela.
Right.
And
his resolution was to stop focusing on Angela.
Yeah. So he immediately is like telling him, "I don't think that I can help you. I'm not strong in your weak areas," which is like he doesn't even know what his weak areas are.
And it's funny because he does it in that like little wormy, I'm not speaking loud enough or strong enough for anyone to actually notice what I'm saying kind of thing. He's like, "Oh, I might, I mean, I just might, I know I signed up to be a tutor, but, I might kind of, I might have to drop it out." And,
yeah.
So, like, he's all just like being, like, really soft. Like, he's not even talking to a person. Like, he's just talking to himself. But it's, I mean, I don't know who the actor is, but I don't remember his name. But the actor does a really good job of conveying that weak kind of personality.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, he's trying to get out of it and everything, and then this woman comes up, or this girl comes up, and asks if she can borrow a pencil
and eraser.
Yeah, an eraser, because her eraser doesn't work.
Right. And so he gives her a pencil with an eraser on it, and as she's walking away, Jordan's all smiling. He's like, "What?" And he's like, she would have sex with you.
Yeah.
And he doesn't believe him or acts like he doesn't understand the words. Right. It was kind of funny.
What do you mean?
Yeah, she would have sex with you. So he's like, you should go get her number. And he's like, what? I just go over and ask her? And I mean, totally unannounced or
How do you do that? You just go and ask the person. It's like, yeah, that's how it works.
So Jordan gets up and goes over and gets her number for him.
Yep.
Which
just throws it at him, too.
Yeah. Which it seems weird because they didn't gesture towards him or look at him or anything. It almost seemed like he was just getting her number for himself and just gave it to him. But
yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, what it comes down to is, and Bryan is brain is absolutely, just taken aback by this. And what it comes down to is they come to an understanding, kind of. I mean, it's not, this show's good in its subtlety and everything. It's not like they spell it out. But basically Jordan says, hey, we'll work on the stuff that I need. He also says, hey, maybe just start really basic. If you think it's too basic, even go farther maybe than that. And because he can't tell him, he's I don't know how to read. And he obviously Bryan doesn't know that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be so hard to be tutored and not be able to read and trying to hide that from the person that's tutoring you. I can't even imagine.
Well, I think Bryan's going to figure it out, obviously. I don't think there's any way he can't.
Right.
Once he actually starts tutoring him. But he's clearly functionally illiterate. So it's he can kind of read, but not really.
Right.
It's not like he can't read at all. He can kind of he knows some of the sounds and stuff like that, but he just doesn't, he can't read proficiently.
Well, like he said, when he found that letter from Angela, he can read some words.
Right.
But not all of them. So he could read some of the letter.
Yeah.
He probably had an idea.
Maybe.
What it was about.
But anyway, so he says, hey, you tutor me and I'll show you how to get numbers from girls.
Yeah.
So that's what their dynamic's going to be, which I think is a fun dynamic for the show.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny, too, because Bryan hates him so much, and now he's going to start to like him.
Yeah.
And then Angela comes in and steals Bryan's seat and is she's such a codependent little freak.
Yes.
She's like, if this is weird for you or whatever, I can still keep helping you. You don't have to do this. She can't stand the fact that what she did is working.
Yeah.
And anyway,
but she comes in and they're laughing and having fun.
Right. Yeah. And he's like, no, this is fine. But, if you really want to help me, you could sleep with me.
Yep.
It was funny.
And then she laughed and was like, her reaction was what was funny about it.
Right. Yeah. Because she just laughed so freaking hard, disrupted the whole room.
Mm-hmm. And she's very giggly about it. You could tell she kind of wants to. She was kind of charmed by it, but also, obviously she's not going to say yes. She's still a virgin.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not going to give her virginity up to a guy she's not even technically with.
I wouldn't think so, no.
I mean, I can't imagine
Not our
it.
Angela.
I can't imagine it.
So then, I guess let's do the dad and the mom-ish plot, and then we'll finish up with Ricki.
Okay, so mom and dad. We said their New Year's resolutions. He is going to be, he's telling her he's going to try to get home from class earlier. And she's like, have fun, relax, don't worry about it. Yeah. Which is so
she's
weird.
Smoking a joint. And
right.
Hey, man, come on. No worries, huh?
So, of course, he stays late and talks to the lady. Haley. Holly.
Haley, I think.
Haley.
Hallie,
that's it. So, again, they're talking about the restaurant, and he does tell her that he isn't it's Hallie.
Okay.
He is absolutely not going to go in because it's his family's savings and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, to the restaurant, yeah.
Yeah.
He also said he absolutely wasn't going to go inside her.
And then she's like, well, I found this place, and since you're not going to go in on it, you can give me a
honest assessment.
Yeah. So he agrees.
It's got a fountain with
mermaids.
Right?
So he agrees to go look at the restaurant with her. In the meantime, his brother stops by, and this is so weird because the mom's talking to the brother, and she brings up Hallie in the restaurant, and he doesn't know what she's talking about, and this somehow makes her suspicious.
Yeah, this is a weird thing to me. So she's there talking, and she's like, yeah, she mentions the restaurant, and he's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, she didn't tell you about the restaurant? And he's like, and this woman, and everything in this cooking class and all this stuff. And he's like, what woman, and
right.
And she gets super suspicious about it. Why? I don't understand.
I don't get it either.
Is she the only thing I can think of is that she thinks the brother is lying. She thinks that, obviously he had to have talked to his brother about the restaurant and this woman, but he doesn't want to admit that he knows about the woman because Grant has told him other things that I'm not supposed to know.
That makes sense.
That's the only thing I can think of. It's a long way, and it, you have to really think about that scene to get there mentally.
Yeah.
It's not very obvious.
Yeah, it's really not. And so then he comes in, and she's like, okay, I'm going to take my beer and go upstairs, and seems all flustered.
Right.
So him and his brother have another weird exchange because he's like,
what'd you say to her?
Yeah.
And he goes, what'd you do?
Yeah.
And then they just eye each other. And he's like, nothing. And then that's it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So it's like his brother is onto him somehow.
Yeah, but also he and his brother apparently don't talk that much.
Right.
Because he didn't mention anything about any of this.
But it seems like he knew he was supposed to be covering for him anyway somehow.
Oh.
What?
Maybe. No, but that doesn't make a lot of sense either. I was thinking maybe she's suspicious because if she's like, he's not telling anyone else about this. He's keeping it kind of secret. Like this woman, the restaurant and stuff. Why would he be hiding it? Does he have something to hide? I could see her going down that line of reasoning, but he's told her.
Right.
So that, torpedoes that,
Yeah. The whole thing's weird, but she's definitely suspicious that something's going on.
And nothing's going on, but something's trying to go on.
Well, yeah, because then the next thing that we see is he goes to look at this restaurant with her, and he loves it, and they're kind of flirty.
Brad has a theory about you.
Yeah.
Brad has another theory about you. She says Brad has a theory about you 5 times. It's by half of her dialogue in this show.
Yeah, and it seems like she does a lot of talking about him with Brad.
Yes.
So
Brad has his theories.
Yeah. So Brad's theories are that he is going to go in on the restaurant.
And wait till the last minute.
So then he decides that he wants to. And he tells his wife.
He's like, I've got something to tell you. It's been weighing on me. And she braces herself. She's like, oh my God, just tell me. Just do it. Yeah.
And she's so terrified. And then he tells her that he wants to go down to the restaurant. She's almost in tears. She's so relieved. She's like, I will be 100% supportive. I'm so happy. And, yes, do it. So he goes again to meet up with Hallie at the restaurant. It's nighttime, which is weird.
Heidi?
Hallie. It's Hallie. Okay. I swear to God, it is Hallie.
All right.
And he goes in and she's all hiding in the frickin' shadows.
Yeah, I thought it was Single White Female or something. It looked like a horror movie at that point.
And she's like, "Oh, did I scare you?" And he
I'm not going to be ignored.
What?
That's from Fatal Attraction.
But I mean, he seemed very earnest in telling her that, no, I'm not afraid of you.
Right.
That seemed like a thing.
Yeah.
And it turns out that she's looking all ratty and worn down and stuff because Brad had another theory about him. And they broke up. Yeah,
well, she doesn't put quite the causality to that you just did.
I know.
But she says, Brad had another theory about you, or about me, I guess. And he was like, what? Or he goes, had. And she's like, well, I guess he still has it, but we broke up. He decided he doesn't want to be. We decided we don't want to be engaged anymore. He decided, so he broke up with her. You said at the earlier in the episode, you were like, I don't think she likes Grant. I think she likes Brad because she talks about Brad a lot. And I think that's probably true. She did seem pretty devastated, but now she's in an emotionally vulnerable place. And he wanted to know what the theory was, and she's like, "Oh, never mind," And it's clear that the theory is,
that she wants him.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it did seem that way.
Each other, I think.
Yeah, but it did seem that way earlier. That because she does talk about Brad, she brings Brad up all the time, and it's like she's excited about the restaurant. She's talking about it with Brad. Mm-hmm. Brad says this. Brad says that. It seems like she just thinks that he would be a good part of the restaurant and that he's a friend,
right?
And she's just excited and stuff. And it seems like he feels more because of his resolution more than anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I think that he's in love with her, but she's in love with Brad.
I think it's clear. I think he clearly has some kind of crush or I don't know that I would say in love, but it's clear he's got some sort of crush or something on her.
He definitely likes her a lot.
Yeah.
So. And
if they're going to get in business together, that's really bad.
Yeah, they're going to be around each other all the time.
Well, I mean, if he, that's the thing is if he sleeps with her, that's bad. To sleep with someone you're in business with. And obviously they're not going to have Brad's money anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, Brad was the finances.
It's going to be way more on him to finance it.
Yeah.
And her. I assume she has money too because she's been talking about it as well. Plus they're talking about investors, so.
Right, yeah. She said that if they pay a year up front, then they can start showing it to investors or something.
Yeah, worst case scenario, we're out 10 months' rent. That's so much money.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that's their storyline. And then the last storyline, the one that kind of runs through all these storylines, I would say the main story of the episode is Enrique.
We didn't finish Sharon.
Oh, well, what do you want to share?
Sharon's storyline.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sharon didn't finish Sharon's storyline.
Well, just Sharon's going to sleep with him again.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Basically. She talks to Ryan about it, and apparently she'd been watching A River Runs Through It.
Yeah.
That got her all hot and heavy.
Brad Pitt.
I don't think
I call him Brabs Pitt because of his abs.
I mean, he's a fine-looking guy, but come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
That movie is not that hot. And so anyways...
What about Thelma and Louise?
Hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she ends up sleeping with him because of that movie, and then when she's going to tell him she can't sleep with him anymore because he gets her a stuffed bear and is telling her he loves her and all this craziness.
Oh, yeah. He's way in that's the thing. She feels like she's using him because she doesn't love him. She just wants to fuck him. And he is all puppy dog over her.
Yeah. So she doesn't want to keep using him, but then he tells her that he wants to rent Thelma and Louise and go over to her place. So she puts the kibosh on breaking his heart so that she can fuck him again.
Yeah, she's got the juicy sweetness ready.
Sharon.
But that's the thing is, and she says to Rayanne, she says that it's hotter or it's better. I mean, in so many words, she says it's much better than when they were together.
Right.
The sex is better.
Because it's wrong.
I guess. I don't know. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, as we established when we talked Beverly Hills 90210, you're not the most experienced person in the world, apparently. But have you ever felt if you were with somebody and you were making out or whatever, and then you broke up, did you ever go back to an ex like that when you were broken up? And if so, was it better?
You mean
not being together? The situation Sharon's in. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And was it better?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
What do you think? Have you had that situation?
No, not really, no.
I don't know. It's hard to say because basically the situation I'm thinking of, it was like never really official.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough then.
So I can't. I guess I can't really say. I don't think I've had a going back to my ex and not really being together thing.
Just having sex.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've done that.
Or maybe it's the using him part that's turning her on. Maybe it's the idea that he loves me, but I don't love him. That turns her on.
Oh, that's terrible.
It could be, though.
Ugh.
Maybe that's why she feels so bad.
Yeah, she needs to stop. Okay, Ricki.
Ricki
has been staying with Angela and her family.
Yeah, since their mom saw a ghost, which, by the way, we never apparently go back to again. Like I told you when we were watching it, if someone had seen a dead person and actually talked to them, that's all this show should be about now for the rest of time. Is her talking about the time that she saw and talked to a dead person.
Right. But I mean, people do see and hear and stuff ghosts, and that doesn't consume their whole life. So
do you see dead people?
No, but people do.
Well, I wonder what they're like. Do they just walk around like you and me? Do they even know they're dead?
I don't know. So it has to have been about a week.
Yeah.
Because he moved in on Christmas and it is now New Year's.
Yeah, so a little over a week, yes.
And he hears Angela's parents talking after they were supposed to have left for school, but he went in to grab his backpack.
Every time somebody comes back into a room after they've left the room on TV, it's always bad news.
Right? Bad news bears. He hears them talking about like he needs to get in touch with his family, or they should, that he can't stay there forever. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't take it as like harshly as I think he did.
Right.
I think they were just talking about there needs to be a plan for this kid. Mm-hmm. But he took it as like he can't stay here. Like they don't want him there. I don't think that's really how they feel.
They didn't. Well, he didn't hear the beginning of the conversation either, where they talked about, like it was cool having him and stuff.
Yeah, what a good kid he is. They wish that he'd been in their lives sooner.
Right.
Yeah. I wish he'd heard that part. But he then decides to pretend that he's going back to his family.
Yeah. Oh, my aunt and uncle called, and it's cool.
Yep.
We don't even know what was wrong, other than he was getting hit.
So, yeah. So he pretends like he goes back to his aunt and uncle, but he doesn't. And then he decides to tell his teacher... Mm-hmm. That weird one. What the hell's his name?
Mr.
The one who calls him Enrique, but I can't think of his name.
Gerber face.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, he does look like a Gerber baby. He goes to him to tell him that he doesn't really have a place.
Yep.
And so this guy takes him to the school counselor, who says she can call in favors. And she handles this so poorly.
Yes.
Says she can call in some favors and get him into this place called Pride House, and it's like a family and blah 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 blah.
It's like foster care,
like
or
a group
like
home.
Yeah, but it's like the nicest one around. Apparently.
Right. So what she does not tell him, waits till he's out of the room to tell the teacher, is that there's going to be a wait list. It won't be that day.
Yeah, she's like, look, I can pull every favor that I have, but it's still going to be several weeks until he can get in, because places like this, they people are dying to get in here.
She should have started with that.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have let him have this false hope in his mind that he's going to this great place.
Right. So then Mr. Gerber's got to tell him that, hey, so you're on the wait list. It's really good. It's hard to get on the wait list, but you're going to have to stay at a facility.
Yeah.
Until then.
Yeah, and that's another thing. She shouldn't have pawned that off on the teacher. But
right.
And the facility was basically a shelter. Actually, I think they even called it a shelter later.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, what was happening? It sounded like somebody was fucking with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it was like you couldn't really hear it, but somebody was talking, and like he got up to leave, and then they're like, hey, where you going? I think somebody was messing with him.
Like trying to have sex with him?
I don't know. It was scary.
Yeah, it was weird.
So he leaves there and just wanders around. I think he didn't show up at school.
Right.
And that's why the teacher was looking for him or whatever. But the teacher goes to Angela's house now to see if he's there.
Yeah.
Because he left the shelter. And he obviously was not.
He was like Harrison Ford in The Fugitive. I didn't kill my wife. Like, he's like, where's Ricki?
Yeah, he did. He yelled at them. He made the mom cry.
Yeah, it was great seeing her cry.
Aw.
That Sandy Duncan looking motherfucker.
Wow. You are so harsh.
Harsh and you mellow. Yeah, I know. But she does look like Sandy Duncan.
A little bit. But and apparently he gave up caffeine
Except
for
Sandy
New
Duncan's,
Year's.
Sandy Duncan's got a glass eye, so.
Oh, okay.
And she doesn't.
Okay.
That's a difference.
I don't even know who Sandy Duncan is, honestly. I'm just like playing along.
Sandy Duncan, she played Peter Pan. She was on the Hogan family.
Okay, that makes sense.
She was on the Hogan family, too.
So, excuse me.
Used to be Valerie's.
Speaking of
family.
coffee, I need some.
Yeah, he gave up coffee.
So he is like super cranky. So, okay, so Ricki calls him from a phone booth and it's pouring rain.
Oh, yeah.
And he basically like is, like he's lying his ass off. And why did he even call him if he was going to lie?
Right.
That's the part I don't get.
He's like, yeah, I got a place to stay. It's cool. There's whores here and a bunch of chocolate cake.
You can hear the rain in the background. Right. Like, it's so obvious. And the teacher's just like, oh, okay, good. I'll see you in school tomorrow because he doesn't want to bring him home with him because we find out that he is living with a man.
Vindicated! I totally called this from the very first episode. I was like, oh, he's gay.
Yeah. So he is gay and he's living with a man.
Very handsome, bald man.
And they're worried about what it would look like to people if they took Ricki in.
Yeah, here's the thing. So at first, I was like, oh, he doesn't want to bring him home because of his boyfriend or husband or whatever, right? And then the boyfriend's like talking to him, and he's like, he clearly knows about Ricki, so he's clearly told him about Ricki. And then the teacher, Mr. Gerber, says, what would it look like? And I was thinking, so I'm thinking like, oh, so he's closeted. He doesn't want anyone to know he's gay. He's a closeted gay man. And then it's like, no, then I figured it out. Two gay dudes taking a young boy, and as you pointed out, who's bisexual. Yeah, that doesn't...
Is he bi? I thought he was gay.
He's bi.
Oh, okay.
That looks really bad.
Yeah.
Even though obviously there's nothing going on, but yeah, I could see. And he's like, I'll lose my job, and shit.
God, I hope that doesn't happen. That would be terrible.
He clearly cares.
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing what's right. Somebody needs to give the kid a place to lay his head until something opens up at this Pride House.
But he's like, you're wondering why I didn't ask him to come live with us and stuff like that. And he's like, no, I am. And he's like, he's all tearing himself up inside because he wants to help him, but, he can't.
So then Ricki just shows up at his door.
Yep. And then he gets a big hug from Mr. Gerber.
And it was so sad. He's crying. He's like, it was just so hard being alone. I couldn't be alone anymore.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So he takes him in. And that's what's going on right now.
Poor Ricki.
It sucks, though, because it's like, it's really a terrible double standard.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was staying at the Chase's house. And nobody thought to themselves, oh, I wonder if the dad's fucking him.
Right?
You know what I mean? Or like, if like, Angela is or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's not rumors about that, but two gay guys that are in a committed relationship with each other take them in, and the rumors are going to be like, oh, is that their sex toy?
Right.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? It's terrible.
That's not right.
Yeah. Because clearly he just cares about him as a student, as a person.
Well, I mean, hopefully it will go better than he thinks.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But that was basically the episode. That's kind of where the episode ends. I think this might be my favorite episode. This was a really good episode of the show.
It was good.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see where it goes from here, as I know you are. But main topic time. We watched a film, or I guess I should say we watched a movie. I don't think this could probably be called a film. It's a movie. We watched a flick.
Uh-huh.
Dumb and Dumber.
Guess what it's like.
So it's a comedy. starring, it's the #1 movie in America.
It's dumb.
Starring Jim Carrey again. 3rd movie.
And we've seen all of them.
I liked Ace Ventura. I did not like The Mask. I thought The Mask was terrible. And I liked this movie. And Jeff Michigan's own Jeff Daniels.
I don't see how you could like this movie.
It's funny.
It's not, though.
Okay, so I am very interested to hear what you have to say about it. Should I run through the plot of the movie? The plot's pretty simple.
Yeah, go ahead.
But should I run through the plot of the movie and then you can, or you just want to... Yeah,
no, go ahead and run through the plot.
So, basically, there's Lloyd Christmas, that's Jim Carrey's character, and Harry Dunn, that's Jeff Daniels' character. And they're friends. They're complete idiots. Like, I don't know how two people so dumb found each other. Or even knew how to, like, rent an apartment or whatever they were doing. But they live together. They have aspirations to open a worm farm.
So weird.
Called We've Got Worms, or I've Got Worms. And, like, a store to sell worm farms. Like ant farms, but for worms. Which is so weird because ants are a social animal, so it's kind of interesting to see that how they interact and associate with each other. But worms aren't social animals. Worms are solitary. You know, you might find many worms around each other in an area, but they don't live in families or colonies or anything like that.
Right.
So anyway, but I guess that's the whole point. So he's a limo driver. I don't know, I got a license, but he's a limo driver, Jim Carrey's character, Lloyd Christmas, at the beginning, and he picks up, I cannot remember this actress's name. She's on Picket Fences, but I can't think of her name.
I have no idea.
Anyway, he picks her up and takes her to the airport. Her name's Mary Swanson. And, I didn't think about it, but if they'd got married, because he falls in love with her, like, instantly.
Oh, yeah.
And if they got married, her name would be Merry Christmas, which is just the best. But by the way, Christmas, that's the most, like, made-up Hollywood name. Is there anyone in the world whose last name is Christmas?
Bet you there is.
I don't know about that. What nationality would Christmas be?
I don't know. Where did the word Christmas come from?
I think it's German.
Well, then German.
Right? Or is it just Christ?
I don't know.
Anyway, so his name is Lloyd Xmas, and no, so he takes her to the airport. She's supposed to leave a bag. We found her a suitcase at the airport for some people to pick up. He sees that she leaves the bag. He picks it up before the criminals can get it. Apparently, it's some sort of ransom. Someone is being ransomed, and she's supposed to leave this money. So he goes back to his apartment. They've both been fired from their jobs. And he says, hey, let's get out of here. Let's go to Aspen. Because he found out that, like, he knew because he was talking to her. He knew that's where she was flying to. He's like, let's go to Aspen. They're in Rhode Island. So it's all the way across the country. He's like, let's go to Aspen, Colorado, and we can return this bag to Mary.
So,
meanwhile, the criminals have tracked them to their house and kill their parakeet by ripping its head off.
So fucked up.
Which they don't realize no one's killed the parakeet. They don't realize that someone's killed the parakeet. They're just like, they're just like, Pete, and my parakeet died. He's like, how? His head fell off. He was pretty old. See, it's funny. Like I will grant you, because I'm not a big fan of physical comedy, and a lot of what Jim Carrey does is physical comedy. So I'm not as into a lot of his movies, because like I'm just not really huge into that. But there's a lot of subtle humor, especially from Jeff Daniels in this movie, that I think really works. Anyway, so he's like, let's get out of here. So he convinces them, and they go across the country. So, and they get into adventures. Basically, the whole movie is them going across the country to Aspen to return this bag to Mary, and the criminals are following them. That's the threat. Eventually, the main criminal, played by Mike Starr, who's a very funny actor, he hitchhikes and gets into their car. They end up accidentally killing him because he's got an ulcer, and they load up his hamburger when he's in the bathroom with hot chili peppers,
ghost peppers.
Yeah, and he had rat poison that he was going to poison them with, and he's like, I need my pills because my ulcer, it's so painful. So they give him, they go into his bag and give him the pills, but it's accidentally the rat poison. So they kill him.
Yep.
An accident. Somehow they're able to leave the scene of that crime and continue on in their car that looks like a dog.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's furry.
Yeah, and like they're in the most easily identifiable car that's out there. But anyway, so, they go to Aspen, they meet up with Mary. There's a misunderstanding where Harry ends up actually dating Mary or going on some dates with Mary. Lloyd gets pissed, gets revenge on him by giving him X-Lax, which makes him poop a lot, which is one of the jokes. No, I'm not big into potty humor, so it's
terrible.
Yeah, it's not for me. And then what else? Let's see. We learned that the FBI is somehow onto this. They never called the police or anything like that. Don't know how that happened, but the FBI catches up with them, and Charles Rocket, who was on Saturday Night Live, who I like a lot, he's the main bad guy. He ends up getting arrested, and Evil's punished, and everything's fine. Mary's husband, gets there, and then they go on. It's implied they're going to go on more adventures.
That's who the ransom was Mary's husband. So.
Right.
I don't understand how she ends up on a date with the one guy. Like, if she's married, she seemed like she really loved her husband.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I don't, there's a lot of things that don't make sense, mainly how they survived up to this point. Just the two of them. I mean, they are the stupidest people, and the comedy.
How much money did they have, too, by the way?
I thought it was $1 million.
No, well, so they find out that there's $1 million or whatever in the briefcase, and they start using that money to live incredibly lavish lifestyles. They buy a Lamborghini and shit. But what I meant was, when they leave Rhode Island to go to Aspen, they're talking about how much money they have and they need to be careful and all this stuff and everything. Mm-hmm. But they stay at hotels. They're eating. They must have had some decent money saved.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they were both working.
So tell me why you didn't like this movie.
It's not funny. It's just ridiculous and gross and just wrong. I mean, there were a couple of things that made me physically react, like gasp or feel shocked or feel disgusted.
All right.
But
you laughed a few times too.
But overall, I mean, the movie is just so ridiculous. It's not funny to me.
Okay. Because of the ridiculousness of it?
Yes. And the potty humor, like you said.
That was one scene.
But I mean, it's not just the one scene, though. It's so many scenes.
No, there's just one scene of potty humor.
Yeah, but I mean, so many scenes with bad humor.
According to you.
Yeah, it's not my bag. I mean, I don't like it.
I'm saying there's so much right about this movie, though. And Jim Carrey does a really good job in this movie, and I think Jeff Daniels does an excellent job as the supporting character in it.
I guess. I mean, they do fine, but it's not good. I want to know, why does Jim Carrey look freaking younger in this movie? Did you notice that?
Not really, no.
I don't know. He looked younger to me.
I'm guessing it's just the makeup. What
Maybe.
kind of makeup they have him in? I don't know.
Maybe, but
Lauren Holly, that's her name.
Okay.
Just came to me.
At the end of the movie, they're walking, their car is broken down, they're out of money.
Yeah.
They're walking down the road, and a giant bus full of
Hawaiian Tropics models
shows up and says they need 2 oil boys to oil them up before they have their photo shoots or whatever.
It's funny because it's so ridiculous.
And then they say, no, you need to go to this town and find these boys, okay?
Right.
Because that's how stupid they are. It's just frustrating. Like, that didn't make me laugh. It just made me go, what the fuck? Like, it's not funny.
Okay. See, that's humorous to me.
Ugh.
Because of how dumb they are.
It's just like when people get hurt, I don't laugh. It's the same thing. Like, I look at them with pity.
Yeah. See, that's the way you look at it. Yeah, because you're like, oh, man, they could have been touching these women.
No, I look at them just thinking, wow, it's sad that you're so stupid. How are you ever going to accomplish anything? How are you going to take care of yourself? How are you going to brush your teeth? I don't believe those men even know how to brush their damn teeth.
So you just turn yourself into their mother, basically.
I guess.
Is what happens.
I don't know. They're just,
I think it's funny to me. To me, it's funny.
Ugh.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was a really good movie.
It's a giant waste of time, and it was a giant waste of time when you made me go see it with you. You keep making me see dumb movies.
Oh my God, how many good movies have I taken you to, and how many bad movies have I taken you to?
I don't know. I guess I should start keeping a tally.
Yeah, maybe you should. Let's just go back and listen to all the previous episodes. We'll see how many movies you liked.
Okay.
Remember, frickin' what the fuck was it called? Intersection. That Richard Gere, Lolita Davidovich movie.
Yeah.
With Sharon Stone.
It was a pretty good movie.
Ugh! That movie sucked!
It was okay. It's better than this.
It was not.
Yes, it was.
Better than this. It was terrible.
It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
What are you talking about?
It was a middle of the road movie.
No, it wasn't. Go listen to our review again.
I guess.
It was bad.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I cannot recommend it.
I highly recommend it. So if you have a stick in your ass, like Carol, don't watch the movie. But if you're fun and fancy free like me, go and check it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're such a jerk.
I am. Now, Carol.
What?
Take us home for the episode.
Okay. So, you know what we want. We want you to write to us at latefee1994@aol.com.
Mm-hmm.
And to leave stuff in our lockers.
Yes.
Like money, notes, suggestions.
Tell us, friends. Spread the word.
Yeah. Keep listening to our tapes. We appreciate you.
We very much appreciate you. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.